Thanks for joining.
Good morning, all.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning, Srikanth.
How are you?
Yeah, I'm good. I'm good. Thanks for asking, guys. Let me tell about how our course will go for next couple of days. We will start with the Docker initially, and we will be discussing the Docker, which is going to since it is a prerequisite for the Kubernetes, we are going to learn how much we need to work in the environment, and to how much that is required for us to know, okay, to work in Kubernetes. And for the interviews, only that much that you are going to learn with respect to the Docker. Initially, for first 5 days, you will be dealing with Docker. Okay, so then after Docker, we will be starting with Kubernetes. When you come to Kubernetes, there are three kind of people here. One is trying for job. Second category is planning for certifications. Already working on Kubernetes. But they want to know in depth of Kubernetes. Right, so we have these three kind of people in the class. So we are going to concentrate on all these three areas. Okay, people who want to give a certification, or people who want to attend the interview. While discussing the topic itself, I will be explaining what kind of question that you are going to get with respect to the certifications. So when we come to the Kubernetes certifications, you have two certificates. One is Kubernetes Certified Administrator, Kubernetes Certified Application Developer. You have these two certificates. Why is that important? Okay, by default, these two certifications are little complex. The reason is it's a scenario based. It's not like they will be giving a question and ask you the answer. No, they will be providing a platform, and left pane of the platform is a question. Right side pane would be your lab setup. So you will be having 6 Kubernetes clusters. They will be asking you to perform some actions on different clusters. So so they will be giving a scenario. You have to either make it available, or you need to get some answer from that question. Means by executing something, you need to get that answer, and you need to keep it somewhere else. So like that the questions would be. Okay, so my intention here is people want to who want to give the certifications. So please make a note of all these while discussing the topic itself. Okay, so that it will be easy for you to practice and to more concentrate there. So this Kubernetes probably it will be taking almost 30 classes, 30 plus, okay, plus or minus 1. So here what we are going to discuss about the Kubernetes. With respect to the Kubernetes, you are going to discuss the architecture. Okay, first and foremost thing is that you are not supposed to miss any of the class. If you miss one class, it will be hard for you to follow the next class. That is for sure. Try to avoid missing the classes. If it is very urgent and you have some very important work which you cannot attend the class, just inform me and take the off that day. If you miss the class without informing me, you will not get the recording also. Okay, there should be a proper reason. Why am I telling you is that my responsibility is not only just teaching. I should make sure that you learn the Kubernetes. Okay, that is the intention. Right. So when you discuss about the Kubernetes, we are going to discuss about the architecture. The first part is the core concept and it is going to play a major role. Okay, wherever that you go, if you are thorough about all these concepts, the introduction concepts, at least you will be able to talk about the Kubernetes and you are able to understand what's happening in the environment. Okay, this part, the first part is the basic and it is a must if you want to go further in the Kubernetes. Okay, so we'll be discussing about the cluster architecture, what about the core components of the Kubernetes, API server, etcd, controller manager, and we'll be talking about the scheduling mechanism and kubelet and the kubeproxy, means the master node components as well as the worker node components. After that, we'll be dealing with pods. Okay, while we are dealing with the pods, we need to know how to write a manifest file. We need to know how to write a manifest file. You can write the manifest file in Kubernetes either by using the YAML or JSON. YAML or JSON. When compared to YAML, writing a JSON is a little difficult. If you guys are already have some exposure in JSON and if you can write in JSON, yeah, you are welcome. The manifest file can be written in .json file, no doubt in that. Okay, if you are a beginner, means you don't know either of YAML or JSON, let us start with YAML. So I will be explaining you. You don't need to learn entire YAML. You just follow me how I am writing a manifest file. How I am writing a manifest file. So I will be explaining there the easiest ways how to remember and how to follow the indentation, what types that you have. So just follow that manner. You should be able to write your all YAML files without troubling by yourself. Right. Once after that, we will be dealing with replication controller. Replication controller, I'll be talking little less because it's a deprecated component. It's no more in the present cluster. And next, replica sets, deployments, and namespaces. So all these topics that we are going to discuss one by one. Next, we will be dealing with a scheduling. When we come to the scheduling, there is a default scheduling mechanism for the Kubernetes. If you don't tell anything to the Kubernetes, it is the default scheduler. The default scheduler is going to the default scheduler is going to schedule the pods based upon its own scheduling algorithm. Okay, so but you can have your own scheduler according to your requirement, and along with that you can manipulate your scheduling mechanism by using label selectors, stain tolerations, node selectors, node affinity, right? All these so you are going to use so that according to your requirement. What do you mean by according to your requirement? So you will be having a Kubernetes cluster, and you will be having set of nodes. Okay, you will be restricting your pods. Let me show you here. Assume like these are the nodes or workers, either way you can call. Okay, but when you are working in your environment, you may be thinking to keep these two nodes for development. These two nodes you want to keep for integration environment. These two nodes you may want to keep for the production environment. I'm just giving an example. Okay, so when you are designing a pod, at this moment you don't know what is a pod, but assume like it's just a one component in Kubernetes. Okay, so where exactly that it needs to be scheduled, either in my uh, uh, development nodes or my integration nodes or in my production nodes. So this can be manipulated by using my mechanisms like label selectors, state and tolerations. This concept is very, very, very important. Why? Because that if you in your environment, definitely you have to follow your own scheduling mechanism. Okay, no one will allow the scheduler to schedule the pod according to the scheduling algorithm. Okay, definitely you should have your own, right? Next we will be having resource requirements and limits. This is something like how much your application is going to take your memory, the memory or CPU like that. So you will be defining the resource requirements, then daemon sets will go with the static pods, then multiple schedulers. Next, we will be dealing with the logging and monitoring. Okay, so you are running your applications, right? And you are for that you need to run multiple pods, and you are running multiple nodes also. So this everything that you need to set up. Okay, there is a monitoring tool from ages, not from today, from ages you have. Okay, from ages you have that monitoring tool we will be calling as a Nagios. Most of the people knows about the Nagios. Am I right?
Yes.
So that Nagios tool is there to work with your bare metal servers, and it will work for VMs also. But when you come to the Kubernetes environment, it is more dynamic. Okay, some of the pods will go off, some of the pods will come up. It is more dynamic. So that is the reason why your Nagios may not work here. That is the reason why you will be going with another monitoring mechanisms. Heapstar was the default monitoring tool for Kubernetes, and which has been deprecated. Now it is not there. So at this moment, Kubernetes doesn't have any official inbuilt monitoring system. Okay, but it has a support with many monitoring systems. So we will be installing initially a metric server. Okay, we will be installing a metric server. So where you will be able to verify the resource utilization of your pods, nodes, like that. Okay, so a resource utilization means how much of the CPU that your pod is consuming, how much of the CPU that your node is consuming. Okay, so we will be able to verify the metric server. Sorry, we will be able to verify the logs by using logs. Means do not assume like it is the application logs. Okay, it's just performance metrics of your node and pods. Give me a second, guys. Right. So after that, we will be working with one more monitoring tool, Prometheus. Prometheus will be dealing with the Prometheus also. Prometheus is having the log collector, and also it have a front end tool to represent its logs. So it is very good in collecting the logs, but not in presenting. Means the front end for the Prometheus is not that great, so that we are going to use the Grafana. So we are going to integrate Grafana with Prometheus, so that whatever the logs that it will collect, it is going to send to the Grafana. So Grafana is going to display it, and from Grafana you can easily monitor the performance of your components within your Kubernetes. Okay. Next, we will be dealing with the application lifecycle. People who are more interested in writing CKAD, application developer. So you need to you need to put extra attention in this place, application lifecycle. So when coming to the application lifecycle, what exactly the meaning is? How can you manage your application? For example, while my pod is coming up, means while my application is coming up, do I need to run any commands? Do I need to pass any arguments? Or before the Kubernetes is going to send the traffic to my application, how much time should it wait? Why it should wait? Because each application may take different times to come up. For suppose I have a database which may take 20 minutes to come up. Okay, I have my web application which may take a single minute to come up. So it will vary from application to application. So definitely you have to inform to Kubernetes, hey Kubernetes, you please wait for a while, means for 2 minutes. After that only you please send the traffic to my application. So I need to inform that. Otherwise, what will happen when the application is coming up, your Kubernetes is going to send the traffic and it is going to fail. Your end customer is going to be affected. Okay, that is when your application is coming up. The second case is that your application is already running. Your application is already running. You people who are there in the class might know about the hang situation of your server. So hang situation means it is up up and running, but it is unresponsive. It is unresponsive. So when it is unresponsive, your Kubernetes will assume like it is running. If it is killed or it is down, your Kubernetes can provide the high availability for that. Your Kubernetes is going to provide the high availability for that, no doubt in that. But it is still running, but unresponsive. Okay, so those are the cases where you need to manage your applications. Okay. So those things that we are going to talk about in application lifecycle. So those called liveness probe and readiness probe. Liveness probe is going to decide whether your application is ready to serve, whereas liveness probe means whether your application is responding well or not. These two things that you need to configure in your application, so that your Kubernetes, while it is bringing up, it will verify the liveness probe, and when the application is running, it is going to verify the readiness probe. Means my application is responding or not. It's going to perform some checks. So checks are depends upon few things. We have 2 to 3 options in Kubernetes. I will be showing everything. Okay. So by using those options, you are going to set how can I verify the health of my application, right? Once after your application lifecycle is done, during the application lifecycle, we are going to discuss about how to update the new image. Means there is a new code changes. For suppose you are having a Paytm application. I want to modify something in my Paytm application. So I'll be writing a new code, and by using that new code, I'm going to build the image. And that new image, how can you make it available with without downtime? I'm telling you, without downtime. If I make the application downtime, there is no meaning, because no client will agree if you want to take a downtime. That will never happen. So you need to change that image. Means you need to change the changes, apply those changes without taking the downtime for your application. So how you are going to perform? So you will be having some kind of a rollback mechanisms and rolling updates. Rolling update means you are applying a new changes. So the changes that you have applied would have been tested in your development environment, and would have been tested in your integration environment. Okay. That then only the changes will be allowed into your production environment. You have done the rolling update, means you have applied the new image in your production environment. There is a problem. There is a problem. Okay, either your applications are getting impacted, or some business is getting impacted. Something is happened. So how do you roll back it immediately without downtime? So all those things that you are going to discuss. Okay. And we will be dealing with config environment variables and config maps. In the world, 80% of the applications are having a downtime because of misconfiguring of environment variables and config maps. We are going to spend good amount of time with respect to these two concepts, environment variables and config maps. Okay, so this is very, very, very important. I am telling you, when the situation comes for you to work on this, you will be struggling a lot. I don't want you to happen to you. So we are going to spend good amount of time. We are going to learn all the possibilities with respect to the environment variables and the config maps. Once after config maps, we will be going with the secrets. Secrets are same as config maps, but it has some restriction with respect to the data. And secrets, the name itself is saying that you are going to provide some security. Okay, you are going to provide some security, because you cannot share, you cannot keep your database password directly in your files, in your YAML files. Okay, so you need to have some security. So what kind of security and how it is going to provide, we'll see during that time. So scaling the applications. Scaling the applications means you want to increase the number of instances for your application. For example, if it is going to hit the load, you have to increase the number of instances. Number of instances means the same application will be running in more than one pod, and your load balancer will be diverting the traffic among all those. Okay, that concept also we are going to see, and we will be discussing how it is going to happen automatically. Means you don't need to do anything. You just need to configure it. You just need to configure it. Whenever it touches that benchmark, automatically the number of instances is going to increase. So we are going to deal with HPA, VPA, and HPA with respect to the memory. With respect to all of them, at this moment, the support is with respect to horizontal pod autoscaler, with respect to the CPU. Okay, but I will be showing the beta version for the memory, and I will be showing the custom resource definitions. Means you don't have a resource type in your Kubernetes at this moment, but I want to write a definition for my resource. So I will be creating a resource type, then I will be creating a resource from that type. So that part also I will be showing you. Means when the load touches to that point, automatically the number of instances in the backend should increase. We are going to deal with that. And multi-container pod. Multi-container pod is something like, you will be having more than one container within a pod. And what are the scenarios where you need to keep? By default, you will be keeping one container to the pod. You will not be putting more than one, though it is supporting. But what are the scenarios and why you should keep more than one container within this pod? We are going to deal with that. Those are called multi-designer patterns. Then we are going to discuss about the init containers. Init containers means how many of you know about the init folders in Linux? Run levels, RC scripts,
Yes,
or
sir, now.
init scripts, all are same. So in the same way, how you are dealing with your traditional Unix environment, if you want to run something during your boot time, you will be keeping in run level scripts, RC1 dot, RC2, RC3, right? All these things that you will be using. Same way here also, when my application is coming up, I want something to be ready for that. I want something to be ready for that. So for that reason, we will be having a init containers. You will be having a init containers. So before your actual container comes up, something is going to run before that to give a platform for your application to use it. Okay, that is called init container. So how we are going to perform, we are going to learn. Next, self-healing. Automatically, your application, your pod should able to heal on its own. Right. Next, the important part. For people who want to concentrate on Kubernetes administration certificate CKA. Okay, so those people need to concentrate this part much, because you are going to get one definite question from the cluster maintenance. Means how do you upgrade your master? Okay, so you will be dealing with, initially, if you have a specific maintenance for one of your master node, or you have a specific maintenance, something like, those are the, it could be a physical server, or it could be a virtual machine in your cloud. Anything is fine. Okay, but there would be a if it is a bare metal, you may need to upgrade something like memory, or CPU. There would be many scenarios. We don't know what exactly it is, right? So how do you perform those maintenance activities? And then I'll be showing you how do you upgrade your cluster. Okay, how do you upgrade your OS upgradation? Means your operating system version upgradation. For suppose you are running a base machine with Linux, so how do you upgrade? Means I will not talk about the Linux upgradation. So when you have that kind of activity, from Kubernetes point of view, what actions that you are going to take? How do you distribute the load? How do you make that node unschedulable? Right, all those things that we are going to discuss. And then we'll be talking about the Kubernetes versions. Kubernetes versions means you have many components in Kubernetes. So what are the dependency, and what is the process of doing it? What is the hierarchy? What is the hierarchy that you need to upgrade? Then we will be performing an upgradation activity. Once after that, we will be dealing with the backup of your Kubernetes cluster with respect to the etcd and with respect to the manual. So where exactly that you are running your Kubernetes, whether you are running on the bare metal or you are running on a cloud. So based upon that, I am going to discuss how do you take a backup. So I will be talking by keeping both in my by taking both into the consideration, right? So once that is done, we will be going with security. This part is by default little difficult, no doubt in that, no doubt in that, but you should learn it. You should learn it. See, by default, Kubernetes is a complex piece of software. That is because they want to provide everything that is there in your data center, all those features that they want to provide in a single software called Kubernetes. That is the reason why Kubernetes by default it is a complex piece of software. But you can't skip it. Why can't you skip it? Because you could be either a infra guy or you could be in a development or you could be in the DevOps. So your Kubernetes is required for all of them, for all of them. For your infra guy it is required, and for DevOps guy it is required, and for the developer also it is required, because the dev environment, develop environment have to be handled by the developer only. So for everyone Kubernetes is required. That is the reason why, though it is little complex, but it is forced to learn. And when you verify in the market, so everyone is going to ask your Kubernetes, because the world is containerized. The world is containerized, and containers are not new at all. The container technology is there from more than a decade. Okay, more than a decade. Once the Docker comes into the picture, they want to make their applications very lightweight. Means they want to move among multiple machines without any impact. Okay, that is the reason why the Docker became very popular. But the Docker by default can't provide the high availability for the application. So they have a Docker swarm. They have a Docker swarm which is not that great. So that is the reason why Kubernetes has comes into the picture. Kubernetes is going to manage your Docker applications, means your containers. In the other way, containers. Okay, this Kubernetes have been using in Google Cloud Platform from ages. Okay, means from years they have been using. They are using and they are fixing the bugs, and they are taking the feedback with the new features. So all those things that they have developed, and in 2016 they made it as an open source. So everyone started using that. If you take any cloud nowadays, if you take any cloud, Kubernetes would be the one of the service, one of the service. Okay, so when you are running your applications in the cloud, that means most of the people will be running their applications in the Kubernetes, and that Kubernetes would be a cloud service. Okay, so that is the reason why we are learning Kubernetes here. Okay, so please do remember that it's not easy, and but it has very good importance. That is the reason why we are learning Kubernetes. My job here is to make you to understand in a easy manner, in a easy manner. That is my job. I'll try to do my best, and I would expect same thing from you guys, because it's a mutual understanding. How much that I am putting the efforts, uh, the that the as long as that as long as you practice it, so you will be giving the value for the efforts that what I have put. Okay, so keep in mind that it is a regular practice. You try to spend some time during our course, so that it will be easy for you, and it is going to be there along with you at least for next 5 years. Next 5 years, no doubt in that. So since we are expecting a long career on Kubernetes, it's not that difficult to spend little time for next 2 months. Okay, when you come to the security, okay, I told you that Kubernetes is for all, means it is going to provide solutions for everything, and you should have a safety and security with respect to your Kubernetes, means people who are connecting. So when you come to the Kubernetes, the internal component will communicate to Kubernetes API server. The core component is API server. So internal components will talk to the API server, and the nodes are going to talk to the API server, and you as a admin or you as a developer will communicate to the API server. So these many people will interact with each other. So how do you provide a security for this? We will be using a certificate based authentication. So we will be dealing with authentication, authorization, and how do you provide how do you provide how do you generate the certificates, and how do you provide the access for the newcomers in your team. So all we are going to discuss with respect to the security. Security is very, very important. Okay, in Kubernetes 1.6, they have come up with a topic called RBAC, Role Based Access Control. Role Based Access Control means everybody must be knowing about the role. Okay, role means, for suppose I'll give you a simple example. In your environment, there would be a database team. In your database team, assume like there are 10 people. Everybody wants to run the database queries or database commands, means your Oracle commands. So everybody will not have direct access. So what I will be doing is I will be creating a role, and I will be giving the all the access to that role. So whoever want to run the database commands, being a normal user, they will connect to the server, and they will switch to the database user, Oracle user, and they will be able to run the commands. So whatever the role that you are creating, the same way that you will be having a roles in your Kubernetes, but it is little different. We are going to discuss about the roles, role bindings, cluster roles, cluster role bindings, and service accounts, security contexts, and what kind of image security. Image security means you will be using a private repository generally when you are working in your environments, right? You will be working with a private repository. So how you are going to provide the security means you need to have your repo, your username and password. Okay, so when you are working in Kubernetes, how do you prevent those credentials? So how do you prevent those credentials? All those things that we will be discussing during that image security part. And coming to the network policy, by default, every application within Kubernetes will communicate with each other. Means every pod. I mean to say every pod will communicate with each other, and your security team will not allow connecting a front-end application directly to the database. It should not connect. It should not connect because your front end will be there in your public security group, and your database will be in private. So we don't want to do that. That is the reason why we'll be having some network policies. Network policies is going to define what traffic has to be sent to the what pod. Okay, there are different kinds of traffics: ingress and egress. Ingress means incoming traffic, egress means outgoing traffic. So from which pod we should allow the outgoing traffic, from which pod we should allow the incoming traffic. So we are going to discuss that network policy, and in both CKA and CKAD, one question will be there from the network policy. And when coming to the security context, we'll be going to deal run as user. By default, if you don't specify the user in your Docker file, okay, when you are running some commands once after logging into the container, it will be by default root. So being a which user that you want to define, and what kind of permissions that it is going to provide for that root, or we are going to deal with the security context. So security is very important, and it is little difficult concept also. I'm honestly telling you, nothing to scare about. I am here to explain in a detailed way. Don't worry about that. Storage. When you come to the storage is required. Storage is must wherever you go, whether it's a bare metal or whether it's a VMs or it's a container. Your storage is mandatory. Storage means you have to have a persistent storage. Persistent storage, though your application is running or not running, but the data that your application is going to use must be persistent, right? So you will be working with the volumes, you will be working with the persistent volumes and persistent volume clients. There is a volume, there is a application. How do you connect between these two is going to talk about the persistent volume clients. Okay, so we will be working with the different kinds of supporting store supporting persistent volume types. Okay, you have a NFS, you have a MTDIR. Okay, you have a host path. All these things that we are going to discuss, we will be having a NFS setup. I mean to say, I will be having a NFS server, and I will be configuring a NFS share inside that, and we are going to use that share inside our Kubernetes cluster. Kubernetes cluster. So how I am going to configure this is that your application guy, means a developer, will create a request. Means, hey Kubernetes, I want 1 GB of my I want 1 GB persistent volume. So they will be creating a request. So they will be just creating a request, and I am going to set up my cluster that whoever just going to send a request, automatically it is going to create a persistent volume in the backend. That kind of setup that I am going to do, because the same way that even we will be using in our environment. So a developer anyway will not have a direct access to perform creation of the volumes, but if I have 100 developers and each of the developer is raising a request for the admin guys, which is going to have hardly 2 or 3 people, when they start creating a request to the admin team to create the volumes, the entire day will be going for that creation of the persistent volumes only. So I don't want to do that. So when a developer requests, automatically the persistent volume should create. That setup that I'll be showing during this concept. And coming to the network, by default the network is configured and will be automatically set up by using the CNI plugins. CNI plugins, we are going to use the CNI, and you will be knowing how exactly that it is performing within your Kubernetes. Being an admin or being an infra guy, you don't need to do anything. If you download and use the plugin, so everyone will be using the plugin, no doubt in that case, no doubt in that. Otherwise, if you have capability, you can create your own plugin. Okay, you have different plugins. We are going to use I think 6 types of plugins are supported at this moment, and we are going to use the WaveNet plugin. So WaveNet plugin is going to take care of the most of the networking part. Then we will be dealing with how a DNS is configured within your Kubernetes, and how your DNS service is going to work with the DNS deployment. And then we'll be going to deal with the ingress. We'll be going to deal with the ingress. Ingress controller is very important in the Kubernetes. Okay, it is very important. The reason is you will be running with 100 applications. If you take Paytm is your company, and inside your Paytm, can you see how many services that you are running? Flights, bus, train, hotel, international flights, hot deals, movies, cars, bikes, right? If you take a scenario a decade back, each and every service that what are you seeing here is in website. Am I right? Each and every service that you are seeing here is a website or it's a different company. Nowadays, everything they have clubbed. All these are the microservices, guys. All these are the microservices. Does anyone heard about the microservice? Yes, no. Narayan. I have heard what. Right. Good. So microservices are the one where it can be developed independently. Means you don't need to depend upon anything else. So independently, that object can be taken down. Sorry, it can bring down and can bring up. It is going to have its independency, and there are 12 factor microservices. There are 12 factors that you want to take one as a microservice that you can read in Google also, no problem. But the overall meaning is that it should be an independent unit. It should be an independent unit. When you see, if the train service in your Paytm is down, that should not reflect your bus service or flight service or recharge. Okay, something like I have a new version to my train application, I'll be just restarting only that one by adding a bug fix or a new code to that. So for that, the other applications should not impact. The other applications should not impact. Okay, that is the meaning of the microservices. So all are the microservices, but but when I say Paytm slash recharge, it should go to my recharge microservice automatically. If I say Paytm slash bus, it should go to my bus service directly. So who is going to define this traffic? If I hit the bus, it should divert the traffic to the bus service. If I say recharge, it should divert the traffic to the recharge. So that's where exactly that you need to have your ingress service. That's where exactly that you need to have a ingress service. So we'll be configuring a ingress with a load balancer. I'll be telling you ingress with a load balancer. So based upon that URL, it is going to divert the traffic to the backend services. So this is a little complex concept, and you should understand this definitely. If you are working on GKE, Google Cloud Kubernetes service called GKE, they have provided the Ingress Controller as a service. Okay, but other than that, when you are going with any other cloud or in your bare metal instances, you need to configure these things on your own. On your own, right? Once after doing that, we'll be dealing with Kubernetes the hard way. Kubernetes the hard way means you will be using a kubeadm command. Okay, kubeadm command to install your Kubernetes. That command is user friendly. You don't need to create anything. So when you run that command, it is going to run many scripts in the backend, and it is going to provide you the platform for you to run the Kubernetes. So with that, you don't know what exactly that is happening in the backend. But people who want to write the CKA certification, they should know each and every part with respect to the administration. So for that you need to install the Kubernetes from the scratch, means from zero. So this will be taking around 2 to 3 hours to configure your Kubernetes cluster from the scratch. But the testing part will take a days, weeks also. Okay, days and weeks also. Full testing. Okay, so we will not be testing it because it will take days and weeks. Okay, we will be configuring it and we will be just simply run one application, whether it is running or not. Then we will be dealing with some troubleshooting tips with respect to the Kubernetes. Then I'll be showing you the managed Kubernetes service, means on your Kubernetes on your cloud services, something like AWS and Google Cloud. How do you configure your Kubernetes cluster? How do you configure your Kubernetes cluster? That part that we are going to discuss. Mostly we will be working on GKE and EKS, means Google Cloud and AWS. If anyone have a specific requirement with Azure, please do let me know. I can show you how do you configure a Kubernetes on Azure also. Okay, once after doing that, we will be jumping into the Helm. Helm is a package manager. What is a package manager in Linux?
Yum. DNF.
Yum is a package manager. Windows?
Yum in Linux.
In Windows? Does anybody knows about the chocolatey? Narayan?
No, I don't have idea.
Chocolatey is a package manager in Windows.
Even I
Okay.
don't know.
Yeah, chocolatey is a package manager in Windows. Okay, like that you should have a package manager for Kubernetes. Helm is not a Kubernetes component. This product has been developed by the CNCF company. These are the guys, CNCF. These people has developed a product called Helm. Okay, why do you need to have a Helm? For suppose this is my application. This is my Kubernetes application, right? This is my Kubernetes application. Inside my Kubernetes application, I will be having different components. This is the deployment. This is a config map. This is a secret. This is a persistent volume. This is a persistent volume claim. And this is a service account. Okay. This is a role. This is a role binding. Okay. This is a role binding. Okay. With these components, only my application will be running. Ingress. Okay. These many components that I should run if I want to run my application. Okay, being an administrator, I cannot run each and every component individually. I cannot run each and every component individually. For that reason, to manage all these components with respect to your application, you need to have a product called Helm. So by using the Helm, I am going to say that Paytm up, Paytm down. So it's Helm responsibility to bring all your components that are required to bring up your Paytm application. So are we going to use, I mean to say, are these Helm is using in the real-time industry? Yes, it is. Particularly for people who want to look for the DevOps profile. Particularly who want to look for the DevOps profile, they should know Helm. They should know Helm. Infra guys also should know, developer also should know, because I told you developer is the responsibility for the develop environment. Okay, so they should know Helm. So by using the Helm, you will be dealing with your multiple applications. Okay. So you will be learning what is Helm. You will be installing the Helm version 2.0. Okay, 2.0, and we'll be deploying some applications. Actually, the Grafana and Prometheus you will be installing here by using the Helm. By using the Helm, because in your environment, your infra guy will set up everything. Infra guy will set up everything. Okay, so he or she will be installing the Prometheus, Grafana, everything by using your Helm only. Okay, so we will be deploying some applications by using Helm. We'll be whatever the applications that you have a specific requirements, will let me know. We'll do that. Else, we'll be working with Grafana, Prometheus, and we'll be installing a Jenkins. If you want, we can install a load balancer. Sorry, not load balancer, WordPress. Okay, and then if you want, we can do it EFK stack also. So everything that you should be able to use by using the Helm tool. Okay, there are the Helm charts. There is a repository for Helm. There is a repository, means it's a Git repo. The repo name is stable, and all these applications have been created in the form of charts. So we will be taking the chart from there and we will customize according to our requirement, and we will deploy in our Kubernetes. Okay, when you after installing few applications by using Helm 2, we will be installing a Helm 3 binary. These are just a binary, it's not a package, it's just a binary, means you download it and move the path to user local bin. Okay, just that's it. So when you are already having a Helm 2, we will be downloading a Helm 3 binary. Okay, and we will be deploying one deployment with respect to the Helm 3, and then we will monitor for stability of that application. If everything is fine, then we will start migrating from Helm 2 to Helm 3. Why am I teaching this? When you go to an environment at this moment, everyone will be running with Helm 2 only. Okay, but in later point of time, you are forced to migrate from Helm 2 to Helm 3. This is a architectural level change, major version change with respect to the Helm. So that is the reason why we need to upgrade from Helm 2 to Helm 3 without impacting the running applications, without impacting my running applications. Right? You are getting my point? So we will be having a plugin. We will be having a plugin Helm 223. The name itself is 223. So that will be provided by your Helm only. Okay, CNCF people only. You need to download that. You need to use that plugin. First, you need to upgrade the configuration. Then you need to upgrade the charts. Then you need to delete the Helm 2. You are not supposed to. This upgradation process has to be done from only one person in your environment. You cannot do more than one, because one guy is doing it. That will be upgraded in your Kubernetes cluster. Okay, so that Helm is a client component. Helm is a client component. So in your clients, you need to just use Helm 3. Then I'll be showing you how to install the Helm file. Helm file is a new innovation, and this is not being used at this moment in the production in most of the companies, but very few companies are using it in the production. Okay, but still they haven't released a production version. They are still in the testing, but I'll be showing you how to download and how to install the Helm file and what is the purpose of Helm file. Helm file is Helm of Helm, means you are using Helm to manage your application with respect to the different components. This Helm file is going to manage multiple Helm charts with multiple environments. When you come to that Helm file, you will be understanding how to manage the Helm file. Once after doing that, we will be dealing with the certification tips, shortcuts, easy way of writing the files. All these are with respect to certification. So this will be managing all this while we are working on Kubernetes only. Means at this point only, at this point only, you will be start writing the YAML files, and we'll be using the shortcuts. Why are we using the shortcuts? Why are we using the shortcuts? In your certification exam, though it is 3 hours for 24 questions, you will be having less time. That time will not be sufficient. Though you are running also, means you are executing the commands very fast also, the time would not be sufficient. So for that, from the day one of your Kubernetes, you will be writing a shortcuts, and you will be learning how to create the manifest file within less time. Okay, all those things, the tips that I am going to explain you, and the time management during the certification exam, and what things that you should do and what should not do, we are going to deal with this. And this part I told you already, we will be installing these during your Helm 2. Okay, so I'll be showing how to verify the logs and all. Next, if you guys are thorough in Kubernetes, then we will be having some scenarios with respect to the CKA and CKAD. To perform that last practice labs, you should be thorough in all of the above. All of the above. This is what that we are going to discuss during our course. Do let me know if you guys have any questions. The lab environment we are going to set up in your laptop itself. You should have a laptop with supporting hypervisor technology. Something like you should not have a Windows Home version. Okay, Windows Home version will not support these hypervisor technologies. Yeah, do let me know if you have any questions. Yeah, Nikhil.
Yeah, yes, I have one question. Actually, this deployment which we're going to do is through command based or through YAML file mostly. And if
both Nikhil.
Okay.
Our intention is to complete the task with very quickly. So I'll be explaining you for each component how to write a YAML file, and the same YAML file how you are going to generate by using the command also.
Okay, so mostly in an organization, the mostly tasks would be done by the command?
No. You should have a YAML file, and you will be having a Helm. So whoever doing what, it will be recorded. That part we are going to discuss during the Helm.
Okay.
Yeah, any other questions?
So, Babu, we are going to set up this Kubernetes in local system,
Yes.
right? We are not going to use any cloud environment.
I will be showing you after some time how can you set up in cloud, both in AWS and GKE, AWS and Google Cloud. That is up to you. If you want to use, you can use that one also. But the problem is when you take Kubernetes service in Google Cloud or AWS, you don't have a control and master.
Yeah, it's automatically create each and everything, more node and master, right?
Right. You don't have a control and master. So how can you learn?
Okay.
How can you learn? Unnecessarily you are restricting yourself. Right.
Got it.
Yeah. Any other questions?
But in that case, Babu, we can create an individual machine and we can install, we can create master to that one and worker to that one.
I didn't get you. Who is that?
Nikhil.
Yeah, Nikhil, tell me. One by one, guys, please. One by one. Nikhil, go ahead.
Yes. I'm saying that that you are saying that if we're creating a cluster in cloud, so we don't have a control on the master side, right?
You don't have a control master.
Exactly. But we can also do like, we can create individual VM and then we can install something.
Yeah, that part you can do. What is the difference? It is as same as installing on the bare metal only, no?
Yeah, actually in the on the bare metal we need some specific configuration. I mean, in my laptop I'm not having, so that is.
Yeah. See, in the other way, it is as the bare metal only. But if I say that, it may charge you based upon your usage.
Yes, correct.
So if you taking a large size of instances and adding a large volumes, and you forget to delete it, end of the day you are going to lose money, which I don't want. Anyway, you are doing the same. Okay. Worst case, if you can't install in your laptop, then that is the final option. But I don't recommend you to do that. Yeah, next.
Yeah, this is Vivek Vimal. I was having two questions. The one was we have to use bare metal while creating everything? And the second one is, can we use EC2 while creating the infrastructure?
Yeah, that's what in fact Nikhil is asking. So what I'm telling for him is that is up to you. However, that you are doing a bare metal installation the same way that if you are taking the instances from the cloud.
Okay.
But that is not a service in AWS, right? It's not a service. You are taking the machines from AWS and you are installing the Kubernetes on top of that. And in fact, nobody will do that. Nobody will do that. If you are using the cloud, you will be taking the cloud service itself.
Okay.
Yeah. In fact, for suppose if you have a Linux Academy, they will be providing some lab missions. There also you can configure. All you are taking the missions instances. Anything is fine. Next.
So in real time, we are using I mean, they are using a GKE or something like that, or still now they are using bare metal or
Depends, Narayan.
okay.
If see, there are people who have migrated to cloud. There are people who are still running on bare metal. That is up to them. Anyway, I'm going to teach both you, right? So the Kubernetes commands will not change, guys.
Yeah.
Kubernetes commands will not change. So whatever that we are executing, that you can execute either in your bare metal installation or in your managed Kubernetes, or the setup which has been done by the instances from the cloud. Anywhere it will work.
Okay. So instead of Prometheus, we are not. Can we use Logstash?
That is called EFK stack. Now,
not ELK. I'm talking about only Logstash, not Elastic.
Yeah, you can. You can use it, Narayan.
Okay.
If you want, if you have a specific requirement, yes, I can show you through the Helm how to do that. That's not a problem.
Okay.
Yeah. Any other questions? But you should have the commitment, guys. Whatever that you are learning from the class, you have to practice it. Otherwise, you don't need to attend the class itself. First day only, I am telling you. You should have to learn it. Narayan, you agree?
Yes. Yeah, I'm 100% agree because already I have attended your class, so I know very well.
Right, because I don't agree for that. Just simply sitting in the class, I will never encourage. Ashwin, any questions?
No questions, sir, as of now.
Right. Somnath.
Yeah. Yes. Can you give a little bit idea about the exam, certification exams?
Yeah, sure. That is there. No, I have a session for that. I have a session for yeah. See, certification. I have a session for that.
Okay.
So how it is going to be appear? I will not tell you the exact question, Somnath. Please do not expect to leak the paper from my side. I'll be telling what kind of question that you will get from which concept and how they are going to ask you. So indirectly it is the same way, but I don't give you the exact question.
Yeah.
Right, Somnath?
Yes. Yes.
That's what you are expecting. That's why you are here. Right? I want you to learn everything instead of depending on somebody else.
Yeah, sure.
So is certification dump available in market?
No dumps. It is available, but I don't encourage you to do that, Narayan.
Because I always need the shortcut way.
No, please try to avoid those kind of things. And you cannot rely also. If they are giving, okay, for your information, the version will keep change.
Yeah.
For suppose if you are in 1.18, the certification exam will be in 1.17. 1.18 is the present Kubernetes.io version. Okay, present Kubernetes.io version, official documentation version. So if it is 1.18, you will be the certification exam would be in 1.17. If it is 1.19, it will be in 1.18. Okay, when you bought the certification coupon, you will be having one free retake after, in case if you fail in first attempt. In case if you fail in first attempt, you will be having one more retake for free. Try to take these two retakes in a single version. In a single version, the paper will change with respect to the version. If the version change, the paper will change. I mean to say questions will change. Okay, this is a good advantage for you. For suppose you failed in case if you failed in 1.17, 90% people will fail in first attempt case. No doubt in that. So you, because the reason is, if you get something, if you get stuck in one question, you should come out of that question within 2 to 3 minutes. If you get stuck, it will take 30 minutes to troubleshoot, so that you cannot attempt the remaining questions. This is the common thing will happen for everyone almost. Okay, so you should not stuck to that. So you have a option to go front and come back anytime. You can mark that question number in your notepad. The notepad will be provided in the exam pane itself, not your notepad. Not your notepad.
Regarding exam, I have one question to ask. In case I am giving the certification for 1.16 or 1.17, so let us consider I missed the exam for like 2 questions. Okay, I did not correct it for the 2 questions. That's why I got failed. So, as per your like guidance, we will get one retake exam. So let us consider the next week I am planning. So the question will be same, or the question will be?
If it is same version, the questions will be almost same. Vivek.
Okay.
Vivek, right?
Yes, yes, yes. Okay.
The
And
questions will be almost same. 99% it will be same. If the version change, the questions will change.
Okay. And more things, sir. How much percentage will be the lab work, means lab related, and how much percentage will be theoretical only?
No theoretical. Everything is practical only.
Practical only. Okay.
I'll be discussing about, see, you need to go to the CKA CNCF website, or Shidikanta will be seeing in both AWS and GKE also. No worries.
Okay, thank you, Hello.
All right. CNCF or Linux Foundation. Okay, any of these 2 sites you can go and you can buy the voucher. You come CNCF CKA. It will be $300. Each one is $300, but sometimes they will be giving a coupons or offers. Okay, if anything that I know, I will let you know, so that you can get an advantage for that. So this is for CKA, $300. You can see the percentage of questions. You can see the percentage of questions. What are you going to get? So here you will be having a handbook, exam tips, frequently asked questions. Whatever that your question, you are asking me the questions, everything that you can get from here. It is same rules for both CKA and CKAD.
But are you arranging the like any available exam center available, or we have to?
It is a proctor monitored exam. You can take it from your home. You can take it. You have to take it from your home. I mean to say, there is no centers available in China only. In China, it is center based. Apart from China, rest of the globe, it is either from your office or from your home.
Got it.
One more thing, government issued ID proof that you should have, and the name should match. Do not take Aadhaar card. I am telling you. Do not take Aadhaar card. So people who want to give the certification, it is a clear indication. Try to use your driving license or passport, something like that.
Sir, if we take from home means we can take help from whoever has been certified. We can ask them to sit next to us and guide us, right?
I didn't get you.
In home, if you are taking the exams, somebody
No,
who has
it's a closed room. Nobody should allowed. You are not go outside of the room. Okay, and everything will be monitored by your proctor. They will ask you to show through the camera. If anything that is doubtful for him, they will not allow you to give the exam. You should not wear a smartwatch. Okay, you should not wear. You should not have a tumbler of metal or something like that. You should have a clear, visible tumbler. Means it should be a glass. Should be a glass type, or it should be a plastic. Though it's a plastic also, it should be visible. The water should be visible from outside. Are not supposed to give any indications like itching your nose or eyes. Okay. All those conditions are there, guys. Do not worry and do not panic. You don't need to have a time to do all this. You will be concentrating on those things. You will be having a notepad option in your pane, and you need to, if any questions that you want to revise, just put your question name in the notepad. You separate it 3 categories. One is not attempted, one is to review, 2 is sufficient actually. And once after you assume like you could able to finish your exam within 2.5 hours, then you take that 30 minutes time and you take your questions that which you did not attempted and you try it. Or if you want to revise the questions that are you have a doubt, you can revise it. 74% for CKA exam and 66% for CKAD. 74% means you should understand how much struggle that you need to take. It is more than distinction.
Negative marking is there?
What is it?
Negative marking.
Negative marking? No, no negative marking. No negative marking, guys. See, there is no kind of selecting the answer here. Who has asked that question? Gaurav?
No, it's me, Somnath.
Somnath.
Yeah.
See, I told you that there is no way that you can select the answer. It is you have to perform the task. They will ask you to create a pod. So you have to create the pod and verify whether it's running or not. So that's it. Right.
Okay.
No
Yeah.
negative marking. No negative marking. Any other questions?
Just one from my side about the timing. Timing will remain same. Actually, nowadays, as you know, that we have a lockdown and it maybe go for 1 month also. So, I mean, can it be possible that can we do it at 7:30 to 9? I mean, is it the same or not? Or whether we can change it?
I didn't understand, Nikhil.
About the timing. I mean, the timing is 7:30 to 9, right?
Yes, it is fixed and it can't be changed, Nikhil. Because I am also working person and I need to spend time for my office. This time also very difficult for me to arrange since people had requested me to have 1 class at least. I am conducting 1 class in 2 months. Whoever have the problem, please try to adjust and do not discuss this topic again.
Okay.
Please try to understand. Yeah, right. If you guys are good, then everyone, please open your browser and download this Vagrant. Go to Vagrant We'll go to downloads. Community download. Go to the download page. I'll ping you this page. Otherwise, go to vagrantup.com and click on the downloads tab. At this moment, you are running with the 2.2.9. But let me show you what Vagrant version that I have installed. 2.2.6.
Sir, can we use this software in official laptop?
I don't know what you mean by TCL laptop.
Official laptop means office provided laptop.
Okay, office laptop. Yeah. Okay, I had like a TCL laptop. Sorry.
No, official laptop at all. Because I'm not having
up to your environment, Ashwin. It is up to your environment. Most of our previous students were executing in their office laptop. Hopefully, you should be able to do it. I don't know what they have restricted in your office laptop, right?
Okay.
You
What is the purpose of this one, Vagrant?
I'll tell you. I'm giving this link in chat. People don't know how to open the chat. Let me know. It is in the Zoom chat.
Yeah, this one is also required. Oracle Virtualbox.
Yes, sir. I'm trying to get the version. You can download 6.0.20 or 6.0 is the main. The minor, the patch version can be anything. Go to the Virtualbox. Do not install the Vagrant, guys. Just download it. Start downloading it. Okay. In Vagrant, here you have different version based upon your operating system. Right. Since you will be you can download the last one, tar.zip.
On Windows or Linux, sir? Which one means?
Ashwin, look at my screen.
Okay.
The last option.
Okay.
Do not install, guys, because Vagrant require a Virtualbox to be installed. Virtualbox also you don't install whatever you want because there is a compatibility issue between your Vagrant and Virtualbox, and you will be getting unknown errors where you can't find it. Six point zero I want, so let me go to the older versions. These two are from different vendors, so there is a compatibility issue. That is the reason why we are going little 6.0 plus anything is fine. What I have installed is 6.0.6. 6.0.16. That is what I have installed. Do let me know anyone have any problem to download this. Okay, can you see my screen, guys? 1 minute.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Yeah, you can click on Windows hosts. Come to the Virtualbox. I'll ping you this. So both of them you download and keep it. When you come to the Virtualbox, click on Windows hosts. It will be downloaded. Do let me know once you download these two. Then I will show you how to install this. Okay, who has asked that what is the purpose of Vagrant? Gaurav? Somebody had asked what is the purpose of Vagrant?
This is me, Nikhil.
Nikhil, the purpose of Vagrant is if you want to bring up a virtual machine in your Virtualbox, you will be doing it manually. You will be doing it manually, going to the Virtualbox, create virtual machine, right? Virtual machines, new. So instead of you do it, we are in the automation world, right? You are in the automation world. You will be using the Vagrant to manage your Virtualbox. So when you say Vagrant up means the machine is going to up automatically on your Virtualbox.
So how much space it will take for VM?
What is your configuration?
My configuration 4 GB RAM.
4 GB RAM. Yeah, it will be sufficient.
And here in VirtualBox, which one we need to download? Windows host, no? Windows host.
Yeah, go to the Windows Virtualbox 6.0.16. Click on Windows hosts.
Okay.
Everyone should download these guys. I'll ask you to show your screen. Shiti, have you?
I have downloaded it.
Okay, good. Once after you download that, first you need to install the Virtualbox. Who is doing that? Narayan, are you doing it?
I have set up.
Okay, good.
Also, I have installed Kubernetes master client now.
Okay. People are waiting from so many days. Sorry for make you to wait because I don't have any option. I have to. I can run only one batch for 2 months. Sorry for people who are waiting for long time. Everybody downloaded?
Yes.
It is still downloading phase.
Okay. Right. Somnath, have you downloaded?
Yes, I have downloaded, but it is not in the same machine. In the other machine, this is my office laptop. You can see.
Oh, that's fine. People who are maintaining your personal laptops, try to do installation in your personal laptop. If no, then the last option is office laptop.
Now after that, we need to install this one.
Who is that? Nikhil?
Nikhil.
Nikhil, can you share your screen?
Yes, let me share. Can you see my screen?
Yes, we can.
So now I have downloaded. Now I am clicking on the RAM.
Go to the location, open the folder. Yeah, install the Virtualbox first.
Can I also install it, sir?
Everyone, yeah, everyone can start installing the Virtualbox. Don't do any changes. Just try to install that. People who are having less space in C drive, they can change the virtual machine's path later. But for time being, you can install it now. You have an option to change. Install. Click on install.
It is Oracle VM VirtualBox 6.0.22, right?
6.0 dot plus anything is fine. I am running 6.0.16.
Okay.
I told you this, Shiti. Oh no, hold on. Please uncheck that start VirtualBox. Okay. Just open that and close it. You don't need to close. Close. You have enough space. You have enough space in the C drive. Nikhil?
Let me check. Yes, 190 GB free.
Oh, very good. New laptop or what?
Actually, this is my friend laptop. So
Yeah,
that
looks to be new. I can see that the E drive is entirely free.
yes.
Yeah, you can enjoy like anything. 8 GB or 16 GB?
Let me check. If you have not.
That's okay, fine. No, not a problem.
Go to the My Computer, this PC properties, you can see there.
It's 8
Eight.
GB.
Oh, 8 GB.
Start Oracle VM after installation. That we need to uncheck, right?
Yes, yes, Shiti.
Oh, thank you.
What should I need to do after this one?
Okay, everyone installed VirtualBox?
Yes.
Do let me know if anyone are still doing it.
Installing, sir.
Okay. Yeah, I can wait. Not a problem.
Where it goes install?
This is i3 laptop. Nikhil,
Yes.
see, when you guys are planning to buy any new laptop, go for the high-end configurations. Never go for less configurations. In future, you will be running many applications for practicing in your laptop. So obviously, you need to have a high-end configuration.
Most of the office, laptop provided by the office. So, I mean, sometimes
Okay.
you don't need
What I'm telling is, in case if it is personal.
Yes.
Sir, in case after 1 month or 2 months, we switch our job, okay. So whatever the project we did in the company laptop, can we transfer in the new laptop or we can store in anywhere? It is available, or is there any process?
Who is asking that question?
Vivek Vimal.
Vivek.
Yes.
I didn't understand your question.
Yeah, my question is that I am using company laptop.
Office laptop,
And
okay.
yes, and I made a few projects in the company laptop.
Okay.
After 1 month or after completion of the Kubernetes training,
your
I
personal
job switch.
projects, your personal
Yes,
products.
I got any. I purchased
Okay.
my own laptop or company change. So
I'll
can
be
we transfer
I'll
the?
be showing you to take the backup of your applications. You can take all the backups into your notepad and you send to your email ID. Okay, so if you install your Kubernetes in the new laptop, you just download this notepad file, and you can if you run that file, all your setup will be ready. I'll be showing during the backup and restore process.
One more thing, actually, for me also the same. Recently, I just got one old laptop, and within this week, I think I will be getting new laptop.
No problem.
So
Within
as
1
of
week,
now, I am installing, but I need to
yeah,
install this also.
within 1 week means you can reinstall in the new laptop. We will not be doing much activities within a week, right?
Sir, I am getting error while installing this Oracle virtual machine, Virtualbox. I'm getting error while installing. It was asking for the email ID and password, right? So I entered my Gmail ID and password.
No, it will
So
not ask.
getting the, I'm sorry,
It will not ask your email ID or password.
it's asking what to do.
Show your screen then.
It's getting error. We can't
Nikhil,
sign you in.
Yes, I have stopped.
Yeah, Vivek, you can start sharing.
Sir, sharing is not possible because I'm working in Ericsson, and in Ericsson Zoom is not
Okay.
allowing.
Okay.
So for the meeting, I am using in mobile phone only, and installing the application in 1 second. What I do, I can share 1 second. I can start my video 1 second. 1 second.
Everyone had installed except Vivek.
1 second.
Yes, sir. I've installed.
Yeah, great.
Sir, it is visible. 1 second.
This
Share.
is a Windows credential.
I don't know.
This is a Windows credential, not for
Okay.
Oracle VirtualBox.
Yeah, what Narayan Sahu is saying that it is asking your Windows credentials, not VirtualBox credentials.
You don't have admin access to on your Windows.
You don't have a admin access.
More choice.
Wait, you said that you have an official laptop, so you need.
Yeah, probably the restriction is there from your office laptop, Nikhil.
Yeah, maybe due to that.
Yeah.
Because many privacy is there.
Do you want to allow this app? For if that is the case, you need to give your Windows credentials.
Okay, I'm giving.
Okay, you can stop sharing and give it because we don't want to cut it. That is the reason why.
Yeah, 1 second.
Okay, everyone had installed?
Yes.
Okay, right. Nikhil,
Yes.
can you start installing the Vagrant? Vagrant require a reboot of your laptop.
No, sir. I just checked with the official mail also, Windows mail, but that is also not accepting.
Yeah, you don't have
Maybe
a
due to privacy concern or security concern.
yeah, that you can do it, or you can find an alternate way. Do not waste much time in installing, guys, which I don't encourage.
Yes. Okay.
What is that XZ? Huh? One minute, guys. MSI.
Do I need to allow?
1 minute. Why the extension is showing XZ? What is the meaning of XZ? I don't know.
In the chart. Why this? This one.
Our application, the extension name is only.
XZ, I am not aware.
No, I mean here. Yes, here in background website it is only showing about Excel.
Give me a second, guys.
This one also exit.
64. Okay. Sorry, I thought it was an zip file, but the extension is showing XZ. If you can extract it, that is fine. Else, you please download this one. Third one from the last.
F1.msi image.
Yes.
MSI.
Yes. Microsoft.
This is not Tarna, so we cannot, I think, extract in the system. That is the problem.
Yeah, .xz, if you can extract, that is fine. But XZ, I doubt.
Yeah, we need system access. Like we have to keep it somewhere. From there we can.
Yeah, even I'm not very sure what is that XZ. That's why I don't want you to download also. You can download that last.
Sir, XZ is like extension file of tar. We have to use like one 7-zip software is there. If
So
you install 7-zip, it will
you
open.
extracted it?
Yes,
Oh,
I have 7-zip application.
Yeah, okay.
So it's opening.
Okay, good.
And sir, one more thing, the Virtualbox I am not getting installed in my laptop. So is there any alternative way?
That you need to find out, Vivek.
Okay, we'll try today.
Yeah, you try to do it in your friend laptop or your wife laptop, whatever works.
No, I'm staying lonely, so very difficult right now. Maybe next
Well,
week.
I am also facing the same problem while installing Oracle Virtualbox.
You have to check if YouTube is there any solution will be available or not.
Yeah, you have to find an alternate way, guys.
Gaurav, I will tell you if I will get any solution.
No, it's okay. It's okay. Due to this lockdown, we cannot buy the laptop also. That's a problem. Otherwise, we can buy.
Okay, I don't ask you to buy the laptop at this moment.
That's why I'm telling. Anyhow, I have to buy one laptop for these all things.
Okay, Amazon is allowing the orders if your zone is not in, if your area is not in red zone.
But I'm in Maharashtra actually. I want to go Noida, but I'm in Maharashtra right now, in Pune.
Pune is red zone, man. Do
Yeah,
not buy
that's
anything.
that's why I cannot go outside.
Don't go outside also.
Yeah, we'll try to find out a alternate way, guys.
Okay.
Alternate way means either you have to take a AWS account.
Okay.
But that is a temporary. I don't encourage you to use that much.
Okay.
We'll see how it will go.
Okay, thanks.
But for first week, we can use AWS account because we are going to use Docker. So AWS is enough for 5 days. For 1 week.
Yes, it will give 720 hours.
Yeah, that is true. Either you take Google Cloud or AWS free accounts. Anything is fine. It's just Docker, right? For first week, it will be a Docker.
Sir, this recordings will be provided or daily on a daily basis, or how is it, sir?
You want the recording?
No, generally asking, not today, means in case like if I want to revise it further, like something which I'm not able to get in. Most of the topics I may be able to get in class, but if I still want another revision or something, just asking, in that case, will I be getting it?
Yes, sir. Yes. Provided you should not share these recordings with anybody else.
No, sir. Okay.
Vagrant will expect you to reboot the machine. Okay. Once you once you reboot the machine, you need not join to the class today. Okay, you can continue. We will continue tomorrow.
Sir, when we have downloaded the Virtualbox, I forgot to uncheck, which you have told me. So
That's
it
okay.
isn't-
That's fine.
okay.
That's fine.
Okay.
How much disk space is generally preferred?
Who is that?
Somnath.
Samnath. So hardly it will disk space for installation of your Vagrant or installation of your VirtualBox or installation of your VMs.
Everything as a whole, like for this setup.
Okay, see, installation of your Vagrant and VirtualBox, you can't change the location. Hardly it will take up to 1.5 or 2 GB, including both.
Okay.
Max it is. Okay, and the virtual, if you have less space in C drive, we will change the VirtualBox location so that the upcoming VMs will be there in the different location. So it will not consume space from your C drive.
Yes, I want that only.
Yeah. I'll show you. Once
Yeah.
the installation is done, I'll show you.
Sure. Thank you.
So which operating system we are going to use here?
Ubuntu
18?
Yes. 18 or 16, anything is fine. You can use CentOS also.
Yes, because in my machine I'm using CentOS only. That's why I'm asking this question.
You can use CentOS also, but you should be able to manage yourself how to download the packages.
Yes.
This classes may extend also, sir. Exactly at 9, it won't get stopped, right?
Today it will take little more time, but from tomorrow I'll try to restrict to 9. Worst case 5 or 10 minutes more, because I cannot cut the topic in between.
Okay.
It generally takes time to install Vagrant.
Yes. By the way, Vagrant is a HashiCorp product. Do you guys know about Terraform?
Terraform, yes.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
Terraform, Vault, all these are from HashiCorp. It's a reputed vendor.
I'm just starting my mission. I just install the Vagrant.
Yeah, it will ask you to reboot the mission. So you can just reboot and keep quiet. You don't need to join it back. Tomorrow you can join back at 7:30 a.m. So we'll be installing a virtual mission, and then we'll install the Docker.
Sir,
Yeah.
I think it will take some more time, sir. At least some 5 to 10 minutes. I think it is copying new files actually, installing background.
Okay.
Shall I just after means after copying it will ask for reboot, right? After reboot, anything else will be there, sir?
After reboot, you can just you no need to join the meeting again. You can join tomorrow morning 7:30.
Okay.
Right.
And okay, fine, sir. I'll just
Right.
give you. Okay, thank you, sir.
Thank you, Ashwin. Okay, guys, what you can do is once after installing, it will ask you to reboot. Just reboot, and you can join back tomorrow morning.
Okay.
Do let me know if you have any questions or queries. Else, we will finish the class here.
Bye for have a nice.
Yeah. Bye for now. Thank you so much. See you tomorrow by same time.
Yeah.
Bye-bye.